folks, before Brandon Johnson turned Chicago into a worse hellhole, Lori Lightfoot, Beetlejuice, laid the foundation for him to do so. The former mayor went on CNN to discuss the city's crime epidemic, where, why don't you take a listen to, she placed the blame. Guess where she places the blame? Watch.
If he really cared about violent crime, go after the gun manufacturers who are just mass producing these weapons and have no liability or accountability. Go after the gun stores that know that they're selling to straw purchasers that flood into our city. Pass common sense gun reform that we have been begging for decades. Those are the kinds of things that actually would make a meaningful difference in violent crime. He's not talking about any of those things. He will not do any of those things because this is not about violent crime. It's about something else.
Beetlejuice. I'm kidding, you idiot. Chicago crime has been horrendous. It's one of the most difficult places to get a carry license. They have some of the most strict gun laws in the Second Amendment gun laws in the country. Of course, everything's a soft target. And by the way, if you don't send your police into the neighborhoods where a lot of crime is happening, I don't care if it's Lori Lightfoot, Brandon Johnson, or Jesus Christ, it won't matter. People will still kill themselves and each other. Send them in. Speaking of, let's go Brandon Johnson, we tried to blame Trump for all of the crime that he's enabled, but actually slipped up, gave us a little Freudian slip. Take a listen.
Shootings will continue as long as this presidential administration continues to put politics over people.
I'm so over that place. J.D. Pritzker, the governor of Illinois, thinks that the hysteria in America right now over surging crime, well, it's excessive. Tell that to the people who are getting killed and their families. Even though 54 people were shot last weekend in Chicago, 9 died just in Chicago alone over the weekend. But here he is, Brandon Johnson, trying to convince us all not to trust our lying eyes.
Just during the last week, I've been in neighborhoods across Chicago, from Bronzeville to South Shore to Chatham to Little Village. The president's absurd characterizations do not match what is happening on the ground here. He has no idea what he's talking about. There is no emergency that warrants deployment of troops.
There's no urgency. 9 people killed over the weekend. That's not bad for you, JB. That's okay. Billionaire JB Pritzker. CNN clearly got the memo from Chicago Democrats. They too downplayed what was one of the bloodiest weekends of the year. Listen to how this terrible network made light of 30-plus shooting, 50-something people shot, 8 or 9 dead.
Chicago did experience a particularly brutal Labor Day weekend. Police say 56 people were shot, 7 were killed. But across the board, crime is still down compared to last year.
Compared to last year, that's great. Great, Brianna, you brilliant moron. You compare it to 1 year. By the way, why don't you compare it for the last 10 years and see where the crime rate really is? Higher, murder rates higher. They're pushing the 80s and 90s murder rates. In Chicago, number of murders per civilian, one of the highest in the country, if not the highest. DC was one of them as well. That's getting cleaned up. CNN making my job very easy. Lately, this network should be aired exclusively outside of the United States because their interests have nothing to do with America or the American people. They aired several minutes of a Chinese military parade yesterday, giving the communist spectacle way more airtime than even Trump's parade. Remember that? They didn't even air it. Barely. Here's a clip of what they showed.
We're watching live pictures tonight, right now, a massive parade underway in Beijing as the Chinese President Xi Jinping is showing off his country's arsenal and military might to the world and to the more than 24 foreign leaders who are there in person attending this military parade that includes those from Russia, North Korea, and Iran. In a speech just a few moments ago, President Xi warned that the world needs to choose, as he put it, quote, between peace and war.
Yeah, let's prop up the Chinese military and trash Trump.